Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to be swatching eyeshadow palettes that I got recently. The first one is the I Heart Revolution Chocolate Rose Gold palette. This one is really pretty. Let me show you guys the inside as well. It's the applicator again. So this is the inside of the palette. Very pretty. And then I'll do the swatches. Now it doesn't, I guess it does have the names of them. So the first one is called Hold Up, and this is kind of like a gold champagne kind of shade. Let me see, I'm gonna swatch it like this. Very pretty, very, very pretty. So this is the first shade. The second shade is Touch Me. And this is like a nice sort of like olivey green shade. The next shade is Dirty Rich, and this is a beautiful like magenta kind of shade. Kind of has some orange or goldish kind of undertone to it. The next shade is called Hard Work, and it's like this kind of like greenish gold shade. An antique kind of green gold. Very pretty. The next shade is called Luxe, and this is a nice pretty pinky kind of shade. Pinky reddish shade. Actually, maybe like a pinkish orange. It's kind of chunky too. Okay, so the next shade is called Check. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because it's C-H-E-Q-U-E. Sorry, I don't know what that is, that word is. Okay, the next one is called, oh, that's a pretty like kind of bronze shade. The next shade is called Barbie, and it's like a nice let me see, it's like a kind of like a salmon kind of corally kind of shade. It's this one right here. Then we got Gold Digga, which is another like, it's like a gold kind of shade. It's right here. Then we have Girl Boss, which is just like a matte brown, but it's really pretty. It's kind of like between a brown, it's kind of, but it has some red in it, so it's slightly leaning mahogany-ish. And then we have, oh shoot. Okay, so never mind. So this is called Girl Boss. The next shade is called Uh-Oh, and that is a brown, but it has more red in it. And then we have, and the last one is called Not Yours, and it's just like a hot pink kind of shade. Hot pink right here. Okay, the last row we have Shy, and this is kind of like that kind of greenish, grayish brown shade. It's right here. Then the next shade is Back Up. It's just like a brown, matte brown. Right here. Then we have Side Chick, which is just like a brick red kind of shade. Very pretty. And then we got My Own, which is a nice kind of like warm brown shade. Got slightly like an orangey undertone to it. And then the last one is called Independent, and it's just like a nice kind of like base kind of shade. I hate the word skin tone because it's not everyone's skin tone. So I'm just going to call it like a base type of shade because a lot of people don't have that skin tone. Okay. But let me erase these shades before swatching the next palette for you guys. But so far, I think all the colors are really beautiful. And just from trying out the palette, they're pretty pigmented as well. So I'm very happy with that palette. Okay, so the next palette I'm gonna swatch the colors for you guys is another Makeup Revolution palette. This is called the I Heart Revolution Tasty Latte. I've been wanting one of these latte palettes. I like the pumpkin one too, but I decided to go with this one. Let me show you guys. Now, I know I showed you what it looked like in the previous video, but I am actually obsessed with this color story. It's beautiful. It kind of reminds me of the Madison Beer palette color story. So if you like that one, but you want it a little bit cheaper, I saw this one at TJ Maxx for like $7 to $8, and it's very similar. Okay, so the first shade is on the top row. We're going from left to right. This is called Piccolo. It's a very beautiful, like fairy purple, kind of iridescent purpley shade. Very pretty, has a little bit of pink in it, I'm sure, as well. Kind of like a lilac-y purple. Very pretty. The next shade is Cafe Con Leche. This is like a pretty, like a brick kind of red / mahogany kind of shade. So that's the second one. And we have Chai Tea. Ooh, this is a nice shade. The shimmers are quite crumbly, so just note that. But this is Chai Tea. Then we have Aroma. I'm gonna swatch it like this from now on. Okay, so this is Aroma. It's kind of like a grayish kind of shade. Then we have Double Shot. Ooh, this is really pretty. This is like between like a red and a pink kind of shade. Right here. Here, I'm gonna swatch it. Let's do it this way so you guys can see it. Okay, sorry about that. Next, we have the shade Milky. This shade I use mostly as a base or transition shade. It's kind of like a lavendery white kind of shade. It's like a mauve and like into like a beige, like a mauve beige kind of shade. It's very, very pale and light. It's a matte. Next, we have Creme de la, like a very sparkly off-white kind of shade. It's like a cream white. Very sparkly right here. It's this one. Then we have Flavor, just like a nice, like kind of eggplant purple right here. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but you guys can kind of see a purple shift. Then we have Biscoff. So that's like kind of like an antique-y kind of gold shade. The hint of green in it. Then we have Amaretti. It's like a macaroni and cheese shade. Hold on. I have to... Getting so many... Hands are getting gross. From swatches. So this is like definitely like your straight up mac and cheese type of shade. Let me put it right here for you guys so you can see Amaretti, macaroni and cheese. Then we have Toffee Nut, which is like a nice sort of purple with like a red shift. It's slightly on the brown tone side as well, but it's like a purpley red kind of shade. red violet. Okay, then we have soy, which is another kind of greenish gold, slightly antique-ish looking. This one's a little bit less antique-y, but that's that one. And then we have brew, which is like a purple, like gray blue kind of tone, kind of witchy looking. Then we have grande, which is just like a purple. I would say this is like a slightly reddish purple, like a red violet kind of. Then we have iced honey, which is like a very like coppery kind of pretty shade right here. We have pumpkin spice, which is just like a, I don't know why they call that pumpkin spice, but it's just like brown pretty much. Oh, maybe it's like orangey. Hold on, let me see. It's like a warm tone brown, not like really pumpkin-y, not like orange or anything. Then we have venti, which is a nice like purple. These shades are very pigmented, guys. This is a good palette, and it was super cheap. Then we have, so venti's like kind of like a Barney purple kind of shade. Then we have chocolate mint, which is like a cool grayish brown shade. Okay, but this, so you guys can see the colors, very pretty. I don't know, I love this palette. It's very pretty, I like it. Okay, so I hate to do this, but I'm gonna swatch the other two palettes in a different video because they're huge. So I'll probably just do one palette at a time for those, and that's the Morphe 3503. I just feel like it needs its own video at this point, and I'll just do looks with you guys, for you guys separately. And then I have also the 35C. All right, you guys, that is everything. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.